Morning, Year 3. Welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson. We are halfway through our maths week. That's a really good thing to be, isn't it? Well done to everybody for sending in your maths work again yesterday. We can see that you're really starting to understand, especially when you were doing your deepen it and your secure it, how important it is to understand that process of exchange and what we are doing when we are exchanging something. So well done to you for yesterday's work. We're going to carry on today with exchanging. We're still looking at 3-digit numbers, okay, but we're going to move on to a different column this time. And understanding that exchange process and why we exchange is really important. So before, we were exchanging 10 ones, weren't we? So we had 10 ones here, okay, and we can't have 2 digits in one column, can we? So we know that 10 ones is equal to what? 10 ones is equal to 110. Absolutely. So if we're looking at the tens column and we go more than 9 or 90, what do we do then, do you think? We need to exchange again, don't we? So again, we cannot have 2 digits in one column. Okay, so if I've got 10 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I've got 10 here. Okay, I've got 10 lots of 10. What is 10 lots of 10? It's 100, isn't it? So we need to exchange 10 lots of 10 for 100. And this is what I'm going to use for my hundreds, remember. But that can't go in the tens column. That needs to go in the hundreds column, because we cannot have 10 or more tens in one column. It's exactly like our ones yesterday. Okay, you can't have 13 or 14 ones in one column, because that will make the number and our place value look completely different. So again, today we are thinking about exchanging, but we are going to be exchanging our tens column. So we are going to be exchanging those 10 tens or 11 tens or 12. So let me share the screen with you and we will talk through. So you can see we're going to use column addition to add 2 3-digit numbers with an exchange in the tens column. Okay, so the process is very similar to what we have been doing in our ones column, but it's important to know that we are now looking at, if that number is a 7 in the tens column, how many is that worth? It's not worth 7, is it? If I've got 7 in my tens column, it's worth 70, isn't it? It's not worth 7. And that's really important to remember. Yesterday, when we were talking about exchanging in the ones, quite a few of you, when we were talking about the mistakes that Michael made on Monday, you said he'd forgotten to add the 1. He hasn't forgot to add the 1, he's forgot to add another 10. And that's important to remember, okay? When we are looking at those numbers in the tens column and in the hundreds column, okay, yes, they are 1 digit, but that digit is worth 7 tens. It is worth 4 100s, and that's really important to remember. So we've got a calculation here, and the first thing I want you to do is I want you to pause this video and have a go at using your concrete materials at home, your Lego, your cars, your crayons, to work out this calculation. Okay, pause your video and have a go at doing the concrete. Okay, I will show you. Okay, so when I do the concrete, I seem to start with the ones column. I'll find it easier. So I've got my 3 ones and my 3 ones. This is where it starts getting a little bit tricky, because I've got round pens, and I didn't think of this on a table. So as you can see, my pens go all over the place, but I do need 8 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got there in the end, Mrs. Fletcher. Okay, now we need our 5 tens. Okay. What do the 5 tens represent? Those 5 tens represent 50. Okay, and that's important. Just go back. Okay, so those 8 tens represent 80. So because they're in the tens column, we know that they are 80. Because we've got 5 in the tens column, we know it is 50. It's not 5. Okay, so I'm popping my hundreds on. 2 for the first number, and I need 5 for the second number, for the 553. Still haven't got enough room really, have they? Okay, we're there. Counting my ones column. I've got 6 altogether there. So we'll put 6 in our ones column. And I can reach over and get the pen. There we go. Okay, now I'm counting my tens column. I've got 8. Oh, have I got 8? Just need to check. Yes, I have got 8. 9, 10. I've now reached 10. I can't have 10 in one column, so I have to exchange 10 tens for another 100. Okay, so as I said, I'm running out of room, but there is my extra 100. So now how many have I got in my tens column? I've got 3. How many have I got in my 100s column? I've got 5, 6, 7, but I need to remember that extra 100. So I've actually got 8, just before everything falls off the table. Okay, so hopefully you have got something that looks very similar to that. And now I want you to have a go at doing the pictorial version of that. So you remember how we've been circling our 10 ones and exchanging them into the tens column. You're going to do exactly the same thing, but this time you're going to exchange your tens for 100. So have a go, pause the video here, and then we'll see my video afterwards. So hopefully you've been able to do the pictorial yourself. Some of you are struggling a little bit with the pictorial and finding it a little bit tricky. So have a look at the pictorial video that I've just done. There we go. So when I do pictorials, I do it the other way around because I like to think 283. But you can do it either way around. It really doesn't matter as long as you are accurate. So I've got my 500 and 50. 3. Okay, slightly easier to do it this way. So first of all, we always start with our ones column, and I've just got 6. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop there, Mrs. Fledger. I can't have 10 in one column. So I draw my circle around my 10s. 10 tens, I'm exchanging for another 100. So now I count my tens. And now I count my hundreds, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I need to remember that extra 100. So my answer is 836. That is where you're going to leave it for today. We're only going to do the concrete and pictorial today. Okay, hopefully yours looks a little bit like this. If not, we've got another one to have a go here. So pause your video here, have a go at doing your pictorial and your concrete, and we will go through it in a moment. Okay, here we go. Here is me with my pictorial. So I've got my 5 ones, There we go. And then I've got another 3 ones for my second number. I've gone back to the Deans. It was just too tricky with the pens and the coasters, so I've gone back to Deans because I'm lucky and I've got some at home. So I've got 8 Deans, which represents my 80. And then I've got another 6 Deans, which represents another 60. Okay, they are in the tens column, so 6 represents 60. Still using the coasters. So this time I need 6 100s, and then I also need 2 100s. Okay, there we go. Well done, Mrs. Fletcher. So first column we look at, our ones column, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've got 8. Now we look at our tens column, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop there, Mrs. Fletcher. You can't go any further. Take your 10 tens and exchange it for 100. Okay, 10 tens. We cannot have 10 tens in the tens column. We have to exchange it for another 100. How many tens have we got left? We've got 4 left. Now I had up my hundreds, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I've got my extra 100. So I've got 9 altogether. Okay, so hopefully you will have something that looks very similar to that on your table or on your floor or on your carpet or on your bed. Okay, that is the concrete. Now have a go at the pictorial. Okay, that started the same one again. I got worried then. There we go. Goodness me. Oh, I had to panic then. I thought I'd have to stop and start all over again. Okay, so this is how you would do your pictorial for this calculation. Okay, so I've started in my hundreds and I've drawn my 6 squares, my 8 tens, and my 5 ones. I now need to do another 2 hundreds, 6 tens, remember that is 60, not 6, and 3 ones. Counting up my ones column, and I get 8, 9, 10. Stop there, Mrs. Fletcher, you cannot go any further. You need to exchange that 10 tens for 100. And I can now count my remaining tens. I can now count 7, 8, 9. Don't forget that extra 100. Okay, it's really important. Just before we go on, I want to show you how important it is to make sure you get your column in the right, you remember to exchange. Okay, and just show you how important it is to remember that we cannot have more than 1 digit in each column. So here you can see, and I'm really hoping this comes around the right way on the video. Okay, I have done 283 plus 553. That was our first question. Okay, but I've got an answer of 7,136. That doesn't sound quite right. You can see straight away, I am sure, that I've added up my tens column, but I haven't carried, I haven't exchanged. Okay, so here rather than having the correct number, I've put the total without an exchange. So you can see that that is a very wrong answer, okay, because if we go further up, okay, 8 plus 5 is 13, but that is more than 10, okay. We can't have 2 digits in each column. So I've got my 3 here for my 3 tens, and I've had to exchange 10 tens for a 100. So the answer is 836. But can you see how by making that small mistake here, it gives you a very different answer? Okay, and you think if you were adding up, if you were a builder and you were adding up how many bricks you needed, and you'd added that up wrong, and you ordered 7,136 bricks when actually you only needed 836, somebody would be in a lot of trouble for ordering so many bricks because the adding up wasn't correct. Okay, so this is your do it for today. And for these questions, you are going to have a go at concrete, first of all, about showing your understanding and gathering up those 10 tens and exchanging them for whatever you've got as a 100. You're then going to have a go at doing it pictorially. Okay, so pause your video here and have a go at doing those 2 different ways of solving your calculations. So hopefully you've got something that looks very similar to these. Okay, I have represented it pictorially. I have shown that I cannot have all of these tens in my tens column. So I have shown that I have added and exchanged it for an extra 100. Okay, so there are your answers. If you've not quite got them correct, go back and have a look to try and understand quite where you've gone wrong. Okay, maybe it's in the fact that you haven't been accurate with your tens. Okay, so it's really important. Do you remember yesterday I was really checking that I had the right number of manipulatives in each of my columns? It's the same today. You have got a secure it coming up now, okay, and it says which calculation is the odd one out. So first of all, you need to solve the calculations. Okay, this is all one calculation. So here we've got 500, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 575 plus 263. So you need to do that calculation. Then you need to do the calculation for B. So you've got 220, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 612. And then you've got this one here, and you need to do a calculation for this one. And it will give you an odd one out. Okay, but you need to do the calculation. Okay, so these D's are just a pictorial way of representing a number. That is your secure it, and you can see, explain your answer, okay, with a why or a because. And you're deep in it today. Sanjay and Lucy have both worked out the addition shown below. Whose calculation is incorrect? Explain why. So I would like you to show how you have used your concrete or pictorial method to prove your answer. Okay, some of you might be able to look at that straight away and know which one is incorrect, but you need to be able to prove it. Okay, so that is your maths work for today, year 3. I think some of you will be looking at that thinking, oh, do I really have to do it this way? If you can, Okay, we are really encouraging you to have a go at the pictorial version. If you find it slightly easier to do the concrete and then talking through with a grown-up, okay, that's okay, but we still need to be able to see that you can talk through why we do not have all of these in our tens column and why we are exchanging it for one of those. And being able to talk through it with to somebody else is a really good way of showing your understanding. Hope you enjoyed today's maths lesson, year 3, and I will speak to you later.